going on, y'all? Oops. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the BTSI Show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor, take your shoes off when you walk in my house. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on all social links are located in the description. $ the BTSI Show's Cash App. Participate, waive all rights to privacy. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once you reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 during the Cash App giveaway. And if I'm in the good mood, maybe a couple others may receive a Cash App reward. Now, today, while I was out there, outside, I was supposed to be doing something else, but I decided to catch up on what I've been missing. Now, I'm aware of Ebony K. Williams and her comments. Oh, and by the way, you guys, of course, you guys know we are simulcast from YouTube, Twitter, X, and IG Live. Yes. So let me actually mute this. Yeah, I know I should have had all this planned out. Don't y'all judge me. Let me just pin the link. There we go. Just in case if anybody would like to join. What's going on, Artichoke? I'm still laughing at the Mario mustache. It's all good. It is all good. All right, y'all. Just get into it. Now, Ebony K. Williams is on the grill, and she makes her comments. Now, of course, previously, she made some comments regarding the bus driver situation. She also made comments about voluntarily being a single mother, and I deemed her Ebony Goofy K. Williams. So what we're gonna do is this: we're gonna play some of these interviews, and we're gonna see where do I stand. What you say, Artichoke? I think she was being sarcastic with what she has said. It was like, if she's being sarcastic, she sucks at it. I gotta take it at face value. So, fair use is in effect, but I think I got another fair use. God damn it, I don't. All right, let's fix that. Edit. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we will be playing the audio. I will be playing the interview, but be advised, this is just audio. You guys are not going to see anything, whether it be on here or here. Y'all just going to hear it. Y'all not going to see it. But still, Section 107 of the Copyright Act is in place, aka fair use. So, let's go ahead and go over this content together, shall we? Lights, camera, one second. Water. All right, lights, camera, action. What the hell? Ain't this a bit? Don't nothing want to work when I need it to work. Action.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding.
Now we can all agree that's facts. As men age, the value rises up. That is proven. Okay, we can deal with that. Next.
And the exact opposite is true for Black women. Mm-hmm.
Now, although this is true for men and women of all shapes, sizes, skin color, whatever the case may be, but Ebony K. Williams is specifically talking about Black people. This is true in the white community. This is true in the Latino community. This is true in the Asian community, and so on and so forth. But she's talking about Black people. Just that, just so we're clear on that. All right, so let's go.
As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades. The reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year.
Now, there is some truth to that. The younger, the better. Now, does this mean that the older you get, the more useless you are? No, that's not what this means. That's not what this means at all. It's just that when it comes to men choosing the women they want, they know what they want. Now, does this mean, but like I said earlier, this does not mean you have no value. That's not what she said in this. It's just that when you get older, you start to focus less on your preferences. Meaning, there is a type of guy that you want. As far not put the standards to the side, because like I said in excuse me, in part one, step 4 of my marriage series, we talked about build your spouse. You need to have a minimum of 3 standards, and once you do that, you could then select what type of man you want: tall, dark, handsome, short, skinny, muscular, fat, whatever the case. It's just that the longer you're in the dating market, the older you're going to get. And the older you get, the less likely you get to focus on the guy that you want. And you have no choice but to settle for the man that you need. That's just the truth to that. That's the truth of the fact. The best thing to do is, if you want to keep up with your purposes, that's perfectly fine. But it's best to focus on your purposes, and obviously your standards doesn't get compromised. But if you want the man that you want, you need to find him, or he needs to find you as early as possible. That's how it is. Let's keep going.
No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us.
And that's just biology. That's just life. I know they say black don't crack, which it doesn't, by the way. That's on the outside. But on the inside, that's a different story, men and women. But when it comes to fertility, we're talking about the women. That's a different story. Black don't crack. Black cracks on the inside. Y'all didn't hear it? You heard it here first. Black cracks on the inside. That's where fertility comes into play. I don't care if you're in the low class, middle class, or high class. Man wants a family. Man wants children. It's best to get them while they are obviously in their 20s and their 30s. When you get to that 40 mark, it's hard. Actually, it's hard to the chances of you having a healthy pregnancy decreases. It's not impossible. Let me say that again. It's not impossible. But you're putting yourself through grave danger of having children later on in your age. the complication of pregnancy increases. It's best to get that done out of the way when you're married in your 20s and in your 30s, early 30s to be exact. That's all it is. Black don't crack on the outside. It sure as hell cracks on the inside. And that, like I said, that goes for men and women. But when it comes to fertility, obviously we're talking about the women. Let's continue.
And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose.
So far, so good. This is great advice. This is the same thing that we have been talking about for the past 2 years. And while we're talking about it, this is the same thing that other people have been doing, like literally doing the work for decades. And they still continue to do it today. So Black people, unfortunately, are behind the eight ball because on the let's start from the man side. Men don't want to get married. That's the narrative that has been going around that man doesn't want to get married. And there's a plethora of reasons why these men don't want to get married. I don't condone none of them, and we'll get into that when we talk about our marriage series. I agree. I think that's wonderful advice. Marriage and education were encouraged in my family, and it was honestly it was encouraged in most people's family. Hell, Black people used to encourage that back in the day when they sent the kids off to school. So they said, "What was the excuse me? What was the turnaround? Like, what happened?" I can think of a plethora of things that happened, hey, but we're here now, and we gotta try to revert back to the past, the good parts of the past at least. But let's continue. What was I saying? Oh yeah, men don't want to get married, and that has a lot to do with no fault divorce not being in place, and some other stuff that people tend to bring out. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. So that's on the man's side. There's a plethora of reasons, but we won't get into that now. Regarding the women, why do the women not want to get married? It's simple because they're prioritizing other things besides marriage. It could be a plethora. It could be school. It could be work. It could be entrepreneurship. It could be your career goals. Women are prioritizing everything but marriage. That's why they're focused on what they find deem important, and they are very successful. And they are very successful in what they do because they're climbing up the ladder. They're getting the promotions. They have these positions in their employers as probably the face of the company. So they are doing it and they are killing it. The side effect of that is you look back and you see how many years you don't put in or how many years went by like that. Those were your grand opportunities to have a family and you let it go. And you're going to feel away that your counterparts have everything that you don't have. Yeah, I don't know where we lost that. I encourage both of my daughters, but I also teaching her how to be the helpmate at the same time. To be honest with you, I wanted to have as many children as possible with my former husband. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And yeah, life happens, unfortunately. And you just gotta learn how to play your cards. What up, Stans? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing, brother? Don't worry, it's the card that's dealt. You just gotta learn how to play your hands. So it happens. That's life. But don't worry. Don't regret anything. You got your one, and you gonna have to continue to move forward with what you have been doing. Now, like I said, when it comes to women they're not prioritizing marriage. They're prioritizing the careers, the jobs, everything else, and they are killing it. They are doing the damn thing. It's just that the downfall is what's more important. pushing yourself or pushing for a family. And that's something, and that's a fork in the road that a lot of people have to face and ultimately make a decision. They have to live with their decision ultimately. And that's pretty much uh, that case. But let's continue.
Because the number of college educated black men is so low when compared to black college educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men.
Now, when I first heard that, I was thinking this is just another shot at black men, but we have to. Emperor Kojak in the building. What up, though? What's good, fam? Now we have to think about that, as there's not enough. Let's just rewind that. Let me hear what she said.
As a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college educated black men is so low when compared to black college educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men.
All right, so like I said, when I heard that, I thought that was just another shot at black men, and I was about to, and I just said, let me sit back and hear this out. She's saying is technically true. There's not enough. Actually, the fact of the matter is, there's not enough black people. What up, ski mask in the house? What's going on? There's not enough black men in colleges, and they said educated black men. There's not enough compared to black women. Now, statistically, that might be true. More women go to college than men. That's obvious. But hey, it is what it is. The question is, the men that are not in college, what are they doing with their life financially and that type of stuff? Now, they are still doing better than women out here, but you're then going to have to see, are they making the right decisions in life outside of business, outside of capitalism. So we'll see. Now, yep, Ebony's technically right. I think she could have worded that a lot better, but it is what it is. Let's go.
And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math.
Yeah, yeah. So, 7 to 1 ratio. A lot of men, a lot of dudes don't go to college, including black men. They rather stay home and just go to work, make some money. And while ladies, also keep this in mind, while you're fighting for this degree, and you're busting your ass doing it, keep in mind, um, hopefully you use your degrees worth something, because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a college degree yet, and I make more money than people with a college degree. And I'm a lot smarter than individuals with college degrees as well regarding common sense. So, just wanted to throw that out there.
So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because a handful of black college age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too. Y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood.
So far, so good. Ebony K is speaking facts. She's absolutely right. If you you're gonna have to learn to multitask. I'm sorry, we're looking for some water. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me get something to drink. What the hell? Okay, I'll just. Sorry about that. So, she's absolutely right. Um, you're gonna have to learn to prioritize and actually multitask. Excuse me. You're gonna have to learn to multitask. You can go to college and you can find a significant at the same time. Now, people will say, I don't have enough time throughout the day to study and find a husband or find a wife. That's bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, on your spare time, I need you to go find the book, Guaranteed 4.0. I repeat, Guaranteed 4.0. Go get that book and thank me later. You can get an education and find a significant other at the same time, not compromising anything. You can find your lover and you can find your way on the graduation stage, top of your class. It is very much possible. Anybody that disagrees just making an excuse to fail. And we don't do that here. Continue.
Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that
It is, by the way. Delaying marriage and motherhood is a bad option, a real bad option. Look at her. She's 40 years old and she's electing to be a single mother. She's electing to bring a child into this world, not not knowing or not knowing, excuse me, not knowing the experience and the joy of having a father there. So yeah, delaying marriage and delaying having a baby, yeah, that's a bad idea.
system and family is a priority for them too. Y'all, that is an incredibly small pool and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option.
It is.
But it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Okay. For the most part, I agree with that. And Artichoke said she's being sarcastic. I'm trying to tell y'all, I can see through a glass. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it. Guaranteed 4.0, ladies and gentlemen, is right there. I met Donna O. Johnson before. Did I meet Miss Chan before? I don't think so. I met Donna a couple of times, ladies and gentlemen. They swear by that metric that they created. So get y'all get this. I don't matter of fact, I don't even care if you're in college or not, because there's companies like successful companies that uses this exact same metric. So please get it. Because I remember I bought one of the last ones on Amazon for my god my what is she to me god niece. And matter of fact, I gotta call her tomorrow to check up on her and my nephew. See they uh how they doing. But I digress. But Artichoke said she's being sarcastic. Okay, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But let's focus on what she's actually saying. We'll get to the sarcasm part later. I don't mind people think they pulling a rug from us and we actually do it to them. Now, I know nothing about this. Hold on. What to say? Never mind. I almost lost my train of thought right there. Jesus Christ, almost went down a crazy path. But here's the thing. Oh yeah, that's what I say. Ebony K was. Let's assume everything she says is. Let's assume. Let's just focus on the word. I think everything she said in here is correct. Let's say she goes back on her word. That doesn't negate the fact this moment she was right. So now that we got that out the way, I'm pretty sure that set a lot of women on fire. And they probably misread, misjudged, and all that other stuff. All the confidence in the world that took place. So, so much so that she went to the Breakfast Club to defend her comments against DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and I forgot the other guest host, Lauren something, maybe. I could be wrong. And after this conversation, we need to talk about the Breakfast Club and where do we position them in the black community. But let's get to the video and let's see where we at with it. This is the Breakfast Club interview, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Section 107, all the Copyright Act, fair use, fair use, fair use. Oops. What the hell?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ and D. Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We have Lauren LaRosa here, our special guest host, and we got a special guest with us today. We had a topic talking about some statements that she said, ladies and gentlemen. Eboni K. Williams.
Don't nobody stir it up like Eboni K.
What's up, Envy? What's up, Shar? What's
Good
up, Miss
morning,
Lauren?
Eb.
Hi, how are you?
Good
Good morning.
Good morning. Envy, I was going to be very, very pissed and disappointed if you weren't Skyping in. So good to see you.
Why?
Well, because I didn't know if I'd ever be back up here, to be candid.
If you don't
After the
stop,
last, no, I really.
why?
It was tight last
think
time.
so?
Yeah, but God is good. I came with my godly on.
You don't
Envy got
think
his
so?
godly on. We good. It's really God is good.
I would say this, every time we have a conversation, we're always not going to agree, but you're always invited up here regardless. I mean, we're not going to agree on everything, but the best thing about us is just having a conversation. So never think that you can't come up here for something you say. No, that's what these conversations and these platforms are about.
I'm half playing, but it's a good point, and it's worth saying out loud. So I appreciate that.
And I love
Much
you,
love.
sister. I don't want you to think I don't love you. I love you for real.
It's because
I
it's so
appreciate
good.
everything that you do.
And
Absolutely.
it's just like
Basically, DJ Ebony was offended by the Ebony's bus driver comments, and he defended them against her. So it was a testy back and forth, but they're good.
like anything else, you go hardest in the paint with your fam. So
Well, yes,
Absolutely.
in the paint. As in the paint that's on your face, Envy.
Oh my
Shut up,
God.
Charlamagne.
Well, I'm happy you're here.
thank
I
you,
said
Lauren.
yesterday I would love to have a conversation with you about the video.
Now,
Yes.
what's the topic of conversation? I feel like this is a conversation that men shouldn't even be involved in. But
I
what is-
agree.
what is it?
Okay. All right. Sip attack. How can I say this? How do I feel about this? While I'm gathering my thoughts and trying to filter out my words. We're going to listen to this again. He said this is a conversation for the women. Men should not be involved in that type of stuff. But at the same time, here's why I'm slightly called cap on that. Because if women are having a conversation and it's going down a path, more confusion and more things to be unresolved, I think that's when the man going to step in if the women are not going to do it. But here at the BTS Side Show, we have conversations about anything and everything. We don't gatekeep because somebody want to get their feelings. Somebody don't want to get their feelings hurt. This what Charlamagne just did was pitch the gatekeep. Pitch the rule, pitch the fence, and that's just not going to work in his favor. So let's continue.
The gist of the conversation.
It's not for you, Charlamagne.
I
So I'm
agree.
glad that you said that. This is a conversation for ladies, and I texted my good friend Charlamagne. I said, as a friend to the show, I heard the conversation yesterday. I appreciated the critique and the constructive nature of it. And I said, since I'm down the street on the train, let me pull up, and I want to hear from you, Lauren, about what you agree with and what you disagree with, and have a ladies' conversation about
Let's
it.
do it.
All right. Ebony, 40. Lauren, 41. Context. So keep that in mind. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I'll start with what I disagree with. Let's
Well,
do
Kim,
that.
first for people that don't
Oh,
know, you want
okay.
to play the clip of what went viral,
Yeah, let's
so
do that.
people.
No matter how fit we are, young black, right along with them too, into life part.
Starting with the infertility and
Yeah.
the market value, the appreciating. So with the infertility, I know I said this yesterday, some stuff is science, right? You can't get around that. But I feel like when you start with that and you lead with that, it then makes people get defensive and they don't even hear the rest of it. I know when I first listened to it, I was like, oh God, this is going to be another one of those conversations where like someone's telling me as a woman, by the time you get this age, your life is over. And when you're like trying to figure things out and you're like, I'm 31 years old, right? Like I'm recently out of a very long relationship. You want to feel, not I heard
Charlamagne told me.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, they're about to talk about the fertility. She don't like the fertility comment because she's 31 years old. She just got out of a long-term relationship, and they broke up for whatever reason. Now she's back in the dating market, but I don't worry about it.
Charmaine told me, Lauren,
But I feel
don't
like
worry, there's life after. Go
Oops.
ahead,
I know,
sis.
but that's my point. Is like, for me, I made a very conscious decision with a lot of things in my life. Going to college, being in the relationship that I was in, not being in that relationship, even with my like recent, back and forth to East Coast, West Coast. Like, I've always had to be very conscious and cognizant of the fact that, like, as a woman, as a Black woman, right, especially working in the space that I work in, I might not get that other chance. Like, I got to do it right the first time. And I
You're
think
talking about professionally?
Professionally and personally.
Okay.
And only because that's
And what are your personal goals? Just so we're clear, you want marriage
my
and
personal goals.
children
I want marriage.
and that
I want
nuclear
children. Yes,
family
I want,
foundation.
I want
great.
all of that.
Great.
I don't even have a number of kids. Once we start, we start. I just want
Oh
to have twins
no, we're
first.
not gonna get into the minutiae of that.
But yeah,
you
but
want
yes,
your
I
money.
want. Yes, I would.
Okay.
Ay.
I'm going to be an amazing mom. But I just feel like when you lead with the stuff that you lead with, it instantly turns the conversation negative. And for someone like me who is watching and learning and listening to you, it makes it where now I am defensive. I don't want to watch, listen, and learn. I don't hear the rest of what.
See, and that's the problem right there. You get in your feelings, you tune everybody out, and you think, um, yeah. Sorry, I was reading a DM, but you hear one or two things. You fold in your arm, you big man, and now you want to tune out the important information of the conversation because you're in your own feelings. That's a no. Big ass no. Continue.
What you're saying. So now I'm not being taught, and I should feel like I can listen to you and learn from you, and not feel like you're the op, right? And that's how it starts off when you instantly are telling me everything negative about what I already am facing every single day. And I think that that's a big part of it too. Is like when you put certain truths in front of people, it hurts. People don't want to hear it. But beyond that, like, you can't get around the infertility. The second thing was the.
All right, see what top nine is going to be. This is going to be, if I had to label her, it's going to be, it's honestly, it's a typical woman who just, let me not go there.
Market value,
But she is
right?
talking way too much.
I don't agree. Like, I don't know where you were at 31, but for me, I feel like I'm just now getting to the space where, like, the people that I'm able to, or not even able to, but the people that I'm dating, the life experiences that I'm experiencing that are teaching me what I want, what I don't want. I'm right now in the best.
Thereby, she's saying a whole bunch of nothing. I'm just letting y'all know right now. She's saying a whole bunch of nothing, but continue.
Space that I've ever been in. And that wasn't me in college. I didn't know what I wanted in college. I didn't know who I was in college. I ain't seen nothing, haven't done anything. I didn't agree with that. But so, go ahead.
Let's just, because you put two big ones out, and let's break them down
Just
before
two?
we get ahead of ourselves.
Okay,
Okay, so you're 31 years old, a college-educated woman, enjoying a very successful career in a high-profile space. I'm gonna put my hands together for all of that. Now, when I say market value depreciating, Lauren, did you hear what I said before that? Did you hear the specificity of the particular marketplace I'm speaking about?
No, which was that?
Okay.
See, that's that shit I be talking about. You are so wrapped up in your feelings that you miss the imperative parts of the conversation because you heard one simple thing, you missed everything. And because you missed everything, you think you are owed the opportunity to voice your opinion. Absolutely not. I say absolutely not. That was some straight bullshit. The L'Oreals of the world. I'm not going to talk about her directly because that'll be rude. The L'Oreals of the world is starting to work my nerves.
I didn't agree with that. But
so,
go ahead.
Let's just, because you put two big ones out, and let's break them down before we get ahead of ourselves. Okay, so you're 31 years old, a college-educated woman, enjoying a very successful career in a high-profile space. I'm going to put my hands together for all of that. Now, when I say market value depreciating, Lauren, did you hear what I said before that? Did you hear the specificity of the particular marketplace I'm speaking about?
Here we go.
No, which was that?
Okay, so I want to just go back actually to your first point, Lauren, which I think you are conceding that you had a reaction to my commentary that was so visceral in nature that you actually shut down your listening comprehension skills.
What did I say? Call her out. Like, I'm keeping in mind that Artichoke says she might be sarcastic, but right now she is getting in her ass. Like Big Mama used to do. You get in your ass. You are responsible as an adult for the words you hear and the words you elect not to pay attention to. So she's getting her ass chewing right now. So let's continue.
You said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonder.
Reaction to my commentary that was so visceral in nature that you actually shut down your listening comprehension skills. You said that.
Yeah.
Okay. So because of that though, right? I'm not going to sit in a posture of ownership because you made a choice to be limited in the way in which you received and processed the information.
Let's give her credit. As of now, let's give her credit. Because one thing I hate to be done to me is for me to be misquoted or be taken out of context and that type of stuff, all because you wasn't paying attention or you wasn't hearing me. And because those who don't hear me, I can't wait to make them look like fools. Because I usually don't do that. Well, I'll take it back. I do, but that's under different situations. As now, I have no problem with what Ebony K said today. So far, so good. So far, so good.
Now, you are a grown woman and you have autonomy over what you choose to consume and what you choose to not consume. So when I was giving the advice, the strategy, the game, putting, certain people up on some game, I'm talking to a very limited pool of young Black ladies, the ones that are currently in school or immediately following school or graduate school. And then the other caveat, I'll say, the other place this information is in real time relevant to are the mothers or even the fathers of those young women. That's who this is for. So this is actually not even applicable to you, Lauren. No, let me finish.
No,
right? No, I have to finish because
wait, wait,
hold on, I have to finish my thought.
I just want to wait before you finish your thought.
Okay.
That is rude. Then a motherfucker. You are not about to interrupt me when I'm talking just to get your point across. If what you got to say is that important, do me a favor. Get a pen, get a paper, write it down. Get a pen, get a paper, write it down. Because while you're trying to interrupt people to get your point across, you're actually fucking up their talking points that they're trying to say, and you're messing up the production of the show. That's unorganized. So this Lord chick or this Lord chick, it's a no, a big no. I'm not gonna say you should see her run, but this is a no.
Just want to let's rewind a little bit because I also think too the reason why people also because not just me or the people because even the people it's meant for I'm sure some of them did the same exact thing as well
and
too
some
right
did not
and some did not
right
because
you read all the comments right
yeah I did
and
but what I think
really
what I think happens is with you and I saying this in the most respect.
L'Oreal's working my last nerves. Yeah, this L'Oreal chick is getting on my last nerves. She's just Okay, let's try.
Exact thing as well
and
too,
some
right?
did not.
Right, and some did not.
And some did not.
Right.
Because you read all the comments, right?
Yeah, I did.
And
but what I think,
really
but what I think happens is with you, and I saying this in the most respectful way. I think that the way that you approach things, like even this conversation right now, it can make it does that. It dilutes the whole point of
for you.
You're talking to me specifically.
You said you agreed with Ebony though.
I agree with certain parts of it, but I think that my whole point of what I'm saying, right? Because right now I feel like you're taking what I didn't agree with and the fact that I don't remember specific words or whatever you said. No, I'm not,
Lauren. Really, I really think this would be better served and more productive if just like it's kind of like an opening statement in a court of law. I gave you a good amount of time to lay out 2 prongs of disagreement. And I respect and appreciate both of your positions. I'm not saying they are wrong. Look at Envy Messy. I'm not saying they're wrong at all. But I am saying that I don't know how productive it is to be the time, manner, and delivery police, right? So when we talk about, and also the nature of.
I know we're not talking about the delivery of messages. Okay, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna keep it moving. When it comes to tone of voice, yeah, that plays a part, but that don't mean shit if you're not paying attention to the words I'm saying. Um, sorry, y'all. Let's get back into
of this work that we all do in this space of media and journalism, whatever we want to call it, right? It's very subjective in nature. So for everybody, Lauren, that takes your position, which is very valid, it was visceral to me. I found it triggering. It felt hurtful. I felt attacked. I felt.
But that's the thing. She's basing her opinion off a few things she heard versus everything in totality. So if anything, I would denounce her take on this. To be perfectly honest, but like you need to go back and watch the interview all over again. Take your notes, then come talk to me. This is ridiculous.
It's very subjective in nature. So for everybody, Lauren, that takes your position, which is very valid, it was visceral to me. I found it triggering. It felt hurtful. I felt attacked. I felt policed. I felt shitted on, whatever it is. There's also a whole nother contingency of Black women that felt seen by that commentary, that felt heard. I had sorors coming up to me. We had a fundraiser. Shout out to the Pi Kappa Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Old school versus new school. This is exactly where this is going. Let's continue.
We had a fundraiser that very night that commentary dropped. And I had sorors coming up to me who are more in my age group, right? Because that's the first thing we need to acknowledge. Yeah. Lauren and I are not the same age. Mm-hmm. There's a good 10 years between me and this lovely young lady. Mm-hmm. So I'm speaking from a purview of experience that looks a bit different. Not vastly so, but a bit different.
I agree.
And my peers who are 40 and up are like, I wish someone would have told me. And the fact that you are doing the labor, Eboni, you are doing the service of letting young girls that are currently in position to put themselves in best practices because they are currently in school or graduate school or shortly thereafter matters. And it's good that somebody is rolling up their sleeves and doing the work and having the conversation publicly that quiet as kept. Many pockets of Black elite culture are having with their children generationally every day. Many of my peers, Lauren, when I went to UNC Chapel Hill, who were Black, just like me and you, right? Mm-hmm. They were taught going into the front end of freshman year, keep your eyes open, get those grades, get that degree.
Okay, she's right, but Jesus Christ, this is getting boring. Right, what's up, man? Salute to you, bro. Thanks for pulling out. But very much, they're gonna have to go back and forth. This is a generation gap now. Now, I kind of see why they said this is a conversation not for men. Because if I gotta listen to these two talk, I'd rather just shoot myself. But this is a generation talking old school versus new school. But truth is, they're only 9 years apart. These two, Eboni K. Williams, Lauren. I said Angelina. Only 9 years apart. Lauren still has sensitive ears that where she hears something, she completely shuts down. Usually, I don't like talking to those type of women like at all, but that's just something she's going to get worked on her own time. But let's press play. Let's hurry this up.
I expect you to go to medical school or law school or PhD. And also, if you want the traditional model, and that's a big if, this is going to be the best time to be surrounded by the highest concentration of Black men that are also pursuing the educational and fiscal model that you are and you desire.
Eboni K doesn't know. She just said this. She's telling the women to compete. She's telling the women to compete. When it comes to dating Black men, they have to compete. You know why they have to compete? Because when it comes to somebody of education and that status, according to Eboni K, her words, not mine, is 1 to 7. The ratio is 1 to 7. Black students, men and women. Far less men, more women. Every black man you see on college, there's pretty much 7 women for them, black women for them. So you're gonna have to compete to make sure you get that option. I don't like saying that word, but that's the fact of the matter. If those are the racial numbers. Let's continue.
And it's really no more or less than that.
I don't disagree
Well,
with that.
hold on one second, guys. Hold on 1 second, ladies. We gotta take a break, so we'll come
back. Let's talk about what we agree with.
I think was misconstrued.
Right,
You had a
on. And if you're just joining us, that's Lauren LaRosa. She's our special guest host today. And Eboni K. Williams is up here.
And I think it's very important when we come back. Let's talk about what we agree with.
About the last time you had a conversation with a man about what he values in women. Because I want to be very clear, Lauren, because you make a really good point that I think was misconstrued by a few. I am in no way man.
Also, she's our special guest host today. And
he values.
See, I'm so used to editing because I could kind of tell when they clip the part out. I think that's what they just did, but let's continue.
In women, because I want to be very clear, Lauren, because you make a really good point that I think was misconstrued by a few. I am in no way saying that the market value on life of Black women is depreciating. As we age, as we get more educated, as we get more fiscally fit, as we buy properties, as we build in our careers, our market value in life, Lauren, is ascending beyond the greatest heights of God. But I'm talking about the dating.
What did she just say? Did she?
Properties, as we build in our careers, our market value in life, Lauren, is ascending beyond the greatest heights of God.
Did she say with the Black woman's well, and I'm saying Black women because this is what she's saying. She's focusing on Black women. Did she say Black women's accomplishment is exceeding God level? Let me play it again. I might have misheard.
Fiscally fit, as we buy properties, as we build in our careers, our market value in life, Lauren,
market value in life,
ascending beyond the greatest heights of God.
The Black woman's accomplishments is ascending higher than God, beyond the heights of God. That's what she said. Now here comes the goofiness of Eboni K. Williams. What? That is sacrilegious. That is literally blasphemous. I gotta hear it one more time.
Get more fiscally fit as we buy properties, as we build in our careers. Our market value in life, Lauren, is ascending beyond the greatest heights of God.
I need to walk. What the fuck is this bitch talking about? Oh my God. No. Oh my God. I have to walk. Beyond the heights of God. That. Oh my God. I would get slapped for saying something so stupid. That is wild. That was fucking wild. Let's continue.
But I'm talking about the dating market. I'm talking about how men are perceiving us in terms of marketplace value for their partnership desires. So let's have that conversation, if you don't mind. What do you think most hetero, we're just going to kind of focus on Black men and Black women for the sake of this conversation for this moment. What do you think most hetero educated Black men are looking for in a woman partner?
Ooh. But yeah, this is a conversation that Black men need to stay out of. Charlamagne, I know you're trying to escape your past and rectify your past, but this is why you need to shut the fuck up forever.
Come on, Lauren. Kevin Samuels prepared you for this.
Stop. Let the dead rest in peace, Charlamagne.
You're right.
I think age does come into it. I think that they're looking.
Charlamagne, all that. Sorry, I hear something outside. Charlamagne, you better knock it up. I know that was a joke. Ha ha ha. But be careful now.
Looking for in a woman partner.
Come on, Lauren. Kevin Samuels prepared you for this.
Stop. Let the dead rest in peace, Charlamagne.
You're right.
I think age does come into it. I think that they're looking younger. I think that they want someone who is like very supportive across all, like across the board. Like my man is my king type of thing.
How about availability?
Availability is also a thing as well too. I also think that especially when you start talking about like men who are like planning for like family and things of that nature,
Sure.
they definitely want somebody that is going to be, when you talk about availability, be able to really tend to family, to
Yes.
like all of that stuff. Like I think
Yes.
that is very important. I don't necessarily think that the men that I've had conversations with recently are upfront and honest about
I
that.
said they're lying.
Yeah, they're not
I'm
upfront and
glad we're
honest
already on the
about that.
same page.
Basically, she doesn't know. That was a whole lot of a long ass way of saying I really don't know. And men are very simple, by the way. Men are very simple. Don't need women. We don't need much. I know I don't as a husband. There's like, what does your wife do for you? She does whatever I need her to do, and I don't ask for much for her to do anything. Vice versa. That's why me and her work like this. But I just got to hear this again. Like I was like, you going on as long as soliloquy. I hope you had the answer.
You're right.
I think age does come into it. I think that they're looking younger. I think that they want someone who is like very supportive across all, like across the board. Like my man is my king type of thing.
How about availability?
Yeah. When it comes to men seeking validations, it's like I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna say we want to wake up to the point or say, oh, you're my king and that type of stuff. It's like just chill, relax, like, and that's another thing. Oh, that's something I gotta talk about. The whole title, calling each other king and queen. You know what? I'll say that for a stream another day. Y'all just gonna hate me for it.
Going to be, when you talk about availability, be able to really tend to family, to
Yes.
like all of that stuff. Like I think
Yes.
that is very important. I don't necessarily think that the men that I've had conversations with recently are upfront and honest about
I
that.
said they're lying.
Yeah, they're not
I'm
upfront
glad
and
we're
honest
already on the
about that.
same page.
Yeah, not at all. But
Let's just make a pause on that though, just for the sake of not. We understand that, but let's kind of expand that. So what Lauren is saying, and it's very important, is that oftentimes men like to be the good guy, right? Can we just acknowledge that men, for despite their behaviors and choices and the way they oftentimes show up in the world, you know, it's like a man will keep a girlfriend, have 15 million side chicks, because why? He don't want to be the bad guy and break up with his girlfriend. That's the kind of stuff men tend to do, right? And I can, spoiler alert, it does not get better as they age. Anyway, so I believe that men mean well when they say they're looking for their Michelle Obama, when they say they're looking for the Beyonce to their Jay-Z, but they're lying.
would you agree?
If you're looking for a Michelle Obama, you have to prepare yourself to be a Barack Obama. If you're looking for your Beyonce, you make sure you yourself is Jay-Z. Don't. That's just a public service announcement.
They can't handle that ego wise as well.
I'm not going to say go in that direction. What I am going to say is what they prioritize are the things you just laid out. They want a woman who is accommodating to them. They want a woman who, especially more successful men, they want a woman that when they say, "Hey, yo, I'm going to the south of France for 2 weeks. Pack your bag, let's go." Let me tell you what they don't want to hear, Lauren. Oh, I got.
Now, pay attention to what she's saying. Successful men. Although she is 100% correct, now she's adding, she's gatekeeping, she's adding barriers, parameters in this conversation. Now she's talking about successful men. She's not talking about all men, just the successful ones. And that is subjective, but we'll get into that momentarily.
Got to go to LA to shoot Judge Ebony for 3 days. Oh, I got to go be at a conference in Florida for Black women attorneys gathering. Oh, I got to go to sorority thing.
It sounds like based on a true story.
It's all based on true story. I wouldn't lie.
Charlemagne, shut up. Let these women talk, please.
Right.
Yeah,
No, but I'm glad he said that, because when you said that, I'm like, damn. So she
this
has
is my lived experience.
You've, what did we talked about earlier? You're prioritizing your career, education, or family. Now, don't get it twisted. Because you prioritize career and education, you are actually killing it in this market, in the business side, obviously. You are doing your thing. You need to be applauded for that. However, there is consequences for that every single time. I know it's Friday, but are they partying upstairs? Got a stream around. Jesus Christ. But let's continue.
Yeah, you got some background, like personally that.
Yeah, there's a vulnerability in this conversation that I really want people to feel right now because
and then you're just pointing out the delivery point that I was trying to make earlier in your delivery, and I know
Lauren's a bit too impulsive. She is jumping. She is interrupting people. She's not having the conversation in good faith. Sounds like a bunch of women already know, but let's continue.
Content, right? And I understand what you do. You're really good at what you do, content wise. It always causes these things.
I don't look
right?
like it. I know.
Period.
It's great.
But I think for me, like when I say that I disagree with those things that we talked about, what I wanted to make clear earlier was, and I think we kind of got to this. Me disagreeing doesn't mean that what you're saying to me is just like, oh, this is BS. Oh, this isn't true. Like, because what I just said, it goes to a lot of the points that you made.
Right.
I think that the disagreement again comes in with how you say it, and we don't get that vulnerability, right? So me sitting here with you right now is like, this is what I want to feel when I see the content. I might not always get that though, and maybe it's not, like you said, it wasn't for me. It was for the girls that's still in college.
She's saying a whole bunch of nothing.
Right. Correct. But at the same time, it's placed on my timeline, so I get it and I feel it and I stop and I listen either way. But
and I'm glad you do. Shout out to the team at the Griot. Go ahead.
But
you agree with those?
But I was going to get to that. But what I did agree with was the fact, like when you started talking about the pool of men getting smaller when it comes to those men who will be honest about what they want when it comes to the family, a woman. They are actually worth the time, the energy. It's consistent. You're getting the same energy that you're putting out. It does get smaller as you get older. And like now that I'm out here in the dating world, I'm like, oh, okay.
And keep in mind, you're only 30. Right. 31. So
and it's like
as you get to 40, the pool has.
So basically, Lori, whatever her name is, 31. So she's not succeeding in the market. We Unlock is in the building. What's up, brother? How you doing? Yeah, she's not succeeding in the market. Obviously. Now, granted, no, let me rephrase that. Granted, she just left a long distance. I keep saying long distance. She left a long-term relationship. She's in the dating market. She's trying to find that one after she got out of that relationship. And she's come across a lot of different brothers out there that's just, and she's fairly new in this market. Things changed since the last time she's been there. But truth be told, it's all the same. It's all the same. And we'll talk about that next week. Dating market back then, dating market now, it's all the fucking same. She's just not finding, she's attracting all this negative energy. And ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the negative energy, the negative aura that people bring, it starts from you. Why are you attracting these results of men or these results of women? Just a thought. It's just something to think about. It might not be them, it might be you. Especially if you're 31 years old in this market. You really don't have a lot of time to just waste. That's all. Let's go.
Has shrunk further. 50, even more so. And I've dated up to late 50s.
I'm gonna have a man.
And listen, I'm not.
I'll be nice.
I actually believe in the power of the tongue. So I believe, so you speak, so you have, and you will desire. I do want to speak to the fertility part because it's very important.
It is.
As I sit here with y'all today, I'm literally on some fertility drugs. I am preparing for my embryo transfer in the next few weeks. Now, I'm 40 years old, just turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. Y'all know I've been very transparent about my motherhood journey. I'm doing it solo.
Yes, you're 40 years old. You're going to be a single mother. Be advised, the baby, hopefully you have a healthy pregnancy and delivery, but keep in mind this baby didn't ask to be here, let alone this baby didn't ask to grow up in a single parent household. I also I want to say this. There are some women in their 30s right now, especially in this space, who are very attractive in their own shape, way, and form. and they are, you know what? Let me think about what I want to say because I just lost my train of thought right there. You know what? I think it's best if I don't say that right now at least. So let's continue.
By choice. Y'all know I froze eggs at 34 years old. I'm doing this. I'm excited to be a mom. I'm scared as hell. I know it's going to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and yet I cannot wait to enter this mother era of my life. And also, Lauren, I don't think this is how most Black women want to do it.
Why? I was going to say, why solo by choice?
Well, several reasons. Number one, I'm no longer willing to wait to activate my pursuit of motherhood. I'm no longer willing to wait. I've been married.
Well, they really going head on him upstairs. But and now this conversation, the child, I don't get it. And for the record, Ebony used to be married, and she's divorced. I don't care to find out why they got divorced. It's none of my business. What I'm saying is this. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. There's some women in the space that I know who are in their 30s who have never been married and never had a child, and are actively looking to position themselves to get married. But because of their age, I understand that the each day go by, their chances of having a baby is decreasing, and they want to go by any means necessary. They want to have a child. I said no. I said what you're doing right now. It may not look like it, but you're doing the right thing. You don't want to bring no child in this environment. So if you're holding out to marriage to find that child, keep holding. Excuse me. Keep holding out. Just keep holding out. That's the best option that I can tell you. But let's go.
Married and divorced in my late 20s. I had also a long-term relationship many years ago. I ended a engagement during the pandemic. I'm ready for my baby. Right. I am ready to.
Basically, she had a lot of options to have a child, but yeah.
To build my legacy in this way. I am ready to pour into someone other than me finally. It took me a very long time to get here.
Why don't you pour into your husband? He can pour into you. Y'all can have a child together, and y'all can raise this baby together. Just a thought.
But when she ready, right now, she ready. Okay. Now, I don't think that most women, most Black women, desire doing this journey alone.
One second. No shit. I wonder who is going to watch this fatherless child that she is forcing to exist while she pursues her career ambition. Great question. Great question.
I don't. Important. It's very important. And I know that you mentioned yesterday. I don't think that most women, most Black women, desire doing this journey alone. I don't.
No, like I said, no fucking shit. However, you are putting yourself in a position where not only you gotta do this by yourself, although your mother will be there, but I don't know why I even tried it.
It's very important. And I know that you mentioned yesterday the egg freezing. So let's talk about that. Yeah. Because I think that is marketed, not just you, Lauren. I think in general, that is in a lot of these comments, right? Well, girl, just freeze your eggs and don't worry about the rest. That's some bullshit. Because I'm here to tell you because I'm living it, right? I froze eggs at 34. I never thought in a million years I would need to use them, right? Because why? I was in a loving, committed relationship. These were my spare. Have you frozen eggs at this point, Jill?
No, I thought about doing it last year. I thought about starting the process.
Okay, so let me just, and this is not investigative. I'm just trying to see something here. Do you know how many eggs on average a woman should have on ice, on reserve, frozen for a probability of one live birth?
No, I don't.
About 20. Then if I say, okay, how many egg retrievals are required to get about 20 eggs in a woman that's say 35 and up? The answer is at least 2.
Okay, I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm still stuck on the idea that you're about to bring a child into this world that didn't have to be here without a father. And Jesus. Ladies, you have to do better. You 100% have to do better. And you see guys like this, hey, throw them across the way. Do whatever you gotta Whatever you gotta do. But let's continue because I'm about to lose it.
What's the cost average of an egg retrieval? Amy probably knows this, but he knows it's between $12,000 and $15,000
Not covered by insurance.
per retrieval cycle.
That
on
most
average.
insurances don't cover.
Damn near none of them.
Most insurances do not cover unless you're working at Google or Amazon. And
Still won't work.
by the way, you probably need to be married for them to cover it. Otherwise, they consider it elective. They don't recognize it as infertility. Technological tools, Lauren, but they are wealthy women tools. Here.
You hear that? Let me rewind it.
What I'm saying is the egg freezing route, the single motherhood by choice route, the IVF route are amazing technological tools, Lauren, but they are wealthy women tools. Period.
That's a rich. Yeah, that freezing eggs, embryo stuff. That's for rich people. Ladies and gentlemen, until I look up some. That really wild in sense. So I look up some numbers. When it comes to women and making money, only 25% of women total make more than. Oh, I forgot that number. Let's just say they make a real good piece of penny.
Period. Let's be very clear.
But they make only 25% of women make more than $75,000. You want to talk about black women? That's 9%. So that means most of y'all do not make 70%. Excuse me, most of y'all don't make more than $75,000 a year. This is 100% rich people's problem because you guys don't have the sources or the income to freeze your eggs. Majority of y'all. So I agree with Ebony when she said this is a rich person problem. Let me check. People sending me messages. I need to knock it off. But anywho, Ebony said, "Yeah, this is for rich people. This is not for no brokies." But let's continue.
Clear. That is a rich woman option. If you are, and nobody's more important to me in our society than our educators, right? So let's say I'm talking to my soul who's a teacher in Memphis, Tennessee, who's probably on average making $65,000 to $75,000 a year, doing some of the most incredible work of our community. Where's that sister getting?
Teachers are grossly underpaid. I completely agree. Any educator, you are horribly and grossly underpaid. We agree.
Teacher in Memphis, Tennessee, who's probably on average making $65,000 to $75,000 a year, doing some of the most incredible work of our community. Where's that sister getting $30,000 for 2 retrievals, or even $15,000 for 1? And that's before I've done a transfer. That's before I've had a failed transfer and having to do another one, which Envy has experienced. And thank God they had a healthy baby subsequent that naturally.
Right.
But you see what I'm saying? It's just more to it than just freezing it.
I get you. I think with that part, for me, I was speaking from my own personal experience. And I think that, like, hearing you respond to it, I can understand your response to what I said. But I think maybe I should have been a little bit more clear because for me, at that
still freeze them though. By the way, because you have money.
At that time when I was thinking about doing,
I want that to. I don't want that.
I was.
You got money, just not a lot of money. I don't know about that one. $12,000 to $15,000. Most insurers do not cover that, or naturally, damn near all of them don't cover it. It'd have been better. Y'all just found a husband in your 20s.
Getting through my employer supported that to a certain extent where anything like, yes, it is expensive, but I would have been able to figure it out. So I
think you should still do it. I don't want that missed here. I'm still encouraging you to do it.
I will say I got like scared out of it a little bit. Only because
fear is not of God. Don't do that.
But more so because of what like Envy shared with me, what you talked about, like going through all of that and then
I'll go with you
to not work, right?
I'll go with you.
We can talk about
I'm very serious.
Okay.
I really so I'm saying.
Well, that's nice. That's nice of her. Are you going to pay for it though? Because that's a lot of money. And I wonder who's going to. And real quick, I was thinking about this. Ebony K. Williams is relying on her finances to be the child's father. Meaning daddy is the money. Benjamin Franklin. So she's gonna pay babysitters or whatever the case may be to watch her child that didn't. Let me be nice. Play.
Saying two things here, and this is important in this conversation, y'all. People have got, I encourage people, I'll say, to hold space for more than one thing at one time.
Yeah,
I am saying,
and that was my reasoning, right? Because first, let me get back to one thing. So then you talked about the people with the resources who are able or not able to do it because of financial reasons, right?
Right.
And when I heard you say the women in college, because another issue that I agreed with, but some people were like, about was because I think
what were they like, Lauren?
Right. The headlines didn't help, right? Because what the headlines are saying is like Ebony K. Williams is saying, while you're in college, you also should be trying to get a ring to her. Like people,
there's a big if, which you acknowledge.
I pointed that out because that matters, right?
If that is one of your primary goals,
if you choose that, but but I think when you said that with the women in college, I thought of.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The conversation. This is the second time the Breakfast Club has done this. Ladies and gentlemen, the conversations that they're having on Breakfast Club is not meant for Breakfast Club, especially Breakfast Club audience, because what they're talking about should only be reserved for this space and Clubhouse. Well, Clubhouse fan base as well. They're talking about certain topics that they're not prepared to talk about in the open dialogue in the public and actually keep the attention of people that are listening. This has been a real snooze fest, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to actually finish it. I just have to say that Breakfast Club, stop to the producers. Stop going on YouTube, listening to what we're talking about, and seeing if that's something that you want to bring up when interviewer is in town. That's what I'm seeing from all of this. Stop stealing topics and using it for your own. Well, let me not say that. Let's go. Fuck.
We all became very successful in our careers, financially doing well. We had that resource because we were Black women who took the time to get our education and then apply it to what we wanted in life. So I instantly put those women in that category. So I didn't even think about the people who weren't financially able because I thought that the people that you were speaking to, back to your point of who you were talking to, were women that one day would be able to do it. And the reason why I was like, that's not what I wanted to hear was because I felt like how I've been spoken to is like people will tell you not to do things, right? Because they will say, okay, well, it's going to be financially hard, or where will you get the resources? And it's like, why can't I afford to do it? Like,
yeah, but you understand clearly. If you, I'm not sure for how familiar you are with my content, Lauren, but the folks here in this room that are, everything I talk about is about prosperity and living a first-class American wealthy existence for Black folks. Period.
I can't tell.
I know that you do that, but when I hear that and I know how people will take it in the conversation will run, some people will take it and the conversation will run. They may not know that and they may not present it that way. So now to me, I feel like I put a dark cloud because now you're like, okay, these women are in college. And then most of the I know I'm a Black woman. So when I'm hearing that, I'm instantly like, okay, people are going to use this to be like,
okay, they're just carrying on this conversation. I promise you, I'm trying to stick in there. How much longer this bullshit? 14 minutes. Good God, what the hell was I talking about? Like I said, certain topics that Breakfast Club let me say that mainstream media. There's certain topics in mainstream media that they speak on. That's for us, not them. She's a little bit long winded for somebody that came out firing, but Jesus Christ, come on, the fuck on, shut up.
Like the Black women who graduate with the degrees, they don't have those options because of A, B, C, and D. Number one being finances,
no, it's
right?
The opposite,
and that's not a
right?
Conversation that I don't want.
No. So I think that's so interesting that's the way you heard it. I believe that's the way.
That means something.
Oh, you're like, okay, these women are in college. And then most of I know I'm a Black woman. So when I'm hearing that, I'm instantly like, okay, people are going to use this to be like the Black women who graduate with the degrees. They don't have those options because of A, B, C, and D. Number one being finances,
no, it's
right?
The opposite,
and that's not a
right?
conversation that I don't want.
No. So I think that's so interesting.
We're almost done. Jesus Christ. It's real simple. Ebony said it. You need to multitask. Find a husband. Find your education all in college and go download guaranteed where is it? And go download this book, Guaranteed 4.0. You think you can't multitask uh, your boyfriend or your homework? There you go. Cause I'm telling you right now, this is getting old. I'm about to get out of here real soon.
Interesting that's the way you heard it. I believe that's the way you heard it. But I think that there are also people that hear it the complete opposite way, Lauren, and we have to make the space for that. I hear you saying you heard my commentary in general, and you heard a woman advocating for a glass being half full. Excuse me, half empty rather. And then there are those that heard what I was saying and was like, shit, that's some great perspective. I wish someone would have told me when I was positioned to do something about it. Mm-hmm. I am certainly going to advance this piece of advice and commentary to my children or the kids in my church or the kids in my, Jack and Jill chapters or whatever in the world, and making sure that they have this piece of knowledge or
Okay, I'm gonna end it. I can't. I'm trying, but I can't. I can't. So everything that Ebony K. Williams said in the Gray was absolutely correct. Whether she was sarcastic or not, there's absolutely correct. Now, did she throw some shade at black men? Yes, she did. I'll put that to the side for now. Now, as far as everything else, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to learn to multitask. It's real simple. You're gonna have to learn to multitask when you go to college and when you have a career. That's it. That's simple. Because when it comes to the results, look at the results right now. Ebony K. Williams is 40 years old. 40 years old, never been married. Yes, she's been I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. 40 years old, she's been divorced. She called off her engagement last year. She was not ready for marriage because she like I said, because she didn't prioritize it. She put everything else uh, before getting a family. And it showed today. Her picture is somewhere in the back of the side. I'm not looking at that. Sorry, I was looking at a message. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm about to close my eyes and go to sleep. Like I said, it's kind of hard listening to talking points that's in our space, and when it hits the mainstream media, it's just I don't know. It's a bad look. But I'm about to go to bed. I try to get everybody benefit out, but like I said, MDK is right on this one. I don't like the shots they kind of took at Kev. I'm gonna let that slide. I don't like the other shots they took later on in this interview, but touch on that at another day and time. But I'm getting out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor on your way out. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on all social links are located in the description. $sign to BTS I show. So cash app, participate, waive all rights and privacy. Run over to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100. And so you know, I'm a man of my word. What's I'm looking for? If I'm in a good mood, maybe 2 or 3 people will get some cash app money as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Those who are watching on YouTube, on Instagram Live, thank you for tuning in. This is the BTSI show. I'm your host, Mr. J. I'm going to fucking bed right now. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.